Senator Ward is right that if this goes to the courts, it more than likely would be thrown out or would never make it to the courts. Of course you can say that. You're a middle-class white man. So you view the law completely different to somebody who is a traveller, to somebody who is uneducated, to somebody who's maybe a member of the Roma community. So it is very, very different when a landlord says to you, you be very careful about filling in the declaration because you could be prosecuted, and that you know that the law doesn't treat you the same. It doesn't treat you the same. So we are trying to be constructive.
I just want to respond to what Senator Boylan said there, because I'm really slow to take lectures from her on the fact that I'm a white, male, middle class. No, but I think there's an important point here. I've spent 14 years of my life, Senator, representing the very people you've talked about, members of the travelling community, members of the Roma community, members of parts of society that are done down by officialdom in this country. I've defended those people. I know very well what it's like for them. But there's a suggestion that if we change what's in this bill, firstly, that the kind of landlords who were mentioned by Senator Higgins, people who are unscrupulous, are not going to say exactly the same thing anyway. There's a suggestion that if we change the language and put in two words that mean exactly the same thing, that's somehow going to change the way people approach this. There's a suggestion that the very people who are disadvantaged in society, to whom Senator Boylan refers as part of her amendment, are going to be reading this legislation in the first place. They aren't, for exactly the same reasons that I mentioned earlier. And what I'm saying is that what's being created here with this amendment is an apprehension that is ill-founded and unnecessary. The legislation is clear in what it says. The law, by the way, which is not just this legislation, it covers common law, it covers regulation, it covers the application of that law in the courts. The law is clear. And people will not be done down by the fact that this uses simple words like false or misleading, as opposed to the other language that is being proposed to put in. I understand where you're coming from, but don't throw it back on me and suggest I somehow don't understand how this system works. I do, because I've fought for those people for 14 years, Senator, and I won't be lectured on the subject by you. I know very well how it works, and I also know that the amendments that are being proposed here are unnecessary, because they're not going to change it one jot. You'll still have unscrupulous people who try to manipulate people who are done down. That's still going to happen no matter what amendments are accepted. And rather than throwing stones across the chamber at a minister who has considered these matters, who has engaged with them, who has taken on board what is being said, but disagrees, and that's the difference. It's not frustration, Senator, it's disagreement. But if you disagree with Sinn Féin, somehow you're always on the wrong side of the argument. I won't take lectures from you.